Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be showing you how to make one of my favorite granolas. This is my orange, cranberry and white chocolate chip granola. It reminds me of everything that I love about the holidays and I'm sure that you would love it too. What makes a good granola is the type of oats that you use. Today I'll be using an old-fashioned oats, and that is what I recommend that you use for all of your granolas. Please do not use the 1 minute oats or the quick oats. This is what an old-fashioned oat looks like. Next up, I'll be adding some oil to my oats just to coat it properly. I'll be adding some almonds. Next up, I'm adding some vanilla. Oh god, I love the smell of vanilla. Next up, I start to combine. You can use any oil of your choice. I recommend that you use either olive oil, coconut oil, or canola oil. You can also use vegetable or peanut oil. Whatever oil that you have on hand works just fine. Like I always say, the end product, should be what's on your mind. Don't forget that olive oil has a strong and pungent taste. So if you're using olive oil, you need to also have that in mind. So best that you use a neutral oil which wouldn't have like an aftertaste or which wouldn't affect the end product. Now grab a baking tray. As you can see, I lined mine with parchment paper or baking paper. You can actually bake this directly on a pan, but I personally prefer to line my baking tray. Once you transfer your oats to the baking tray, now using your spatula, spread it out. The secret to having the crispiest, long-lasting granola is to slow roast it. That's my secret. Slow roasting of your granola is the best thing that you can ever do to your granola. Pop this into the oven for about 30 minutes, stirring occasionally. Now, to mix the wet ingredients, I add some orange syrup. This is about 2 tablespoons of orange syrup. The complete measurement will be linked in the comment box, so please check that out. I have some honey here, about 3 tablespoons of honey. I mean, you can always omit the orange syrup, but because I really want this to have, a proper orange flavor, that's why I'm using the orange syrup. Next up, I'm adding some vanilla extract. You can use vanilla essence if you have that, but just ensure that you double the measurement. Next up, I'm adding some orange zest. This is the zest of 1 orange. I'm going to stir that together and let that sit at room temperature for a couple of minutes until my granola is ready to be combined with the wet ingredients. I made some candied orange a couple of days ago. For some reason I lost my file, but I'll be sure to remake the video and show you how exactly I got to make this. And this is also some candied orange peel I made as well. Next up, I'm using about 6 to 7 candied orange. Just chop them up into bite sizes. One of the tricks in chopping this up is to remember that I always say use the biggest item that you have in your granola to measure out, or to eyeball, the sizes of the other things that you'll be using. So chop them up into bite sizes, or as small or as big as you want. Slow roasting of granola is the best kept secret. So I would recommend that while roasting it, bring it out every 5 to 6 minutes and stir it, and then pop it back into the oven. Once your granola is out, another trick here is to ensure that your granola is still relatively hot or warm, so that when you add the wet ingredients, it clings to every, inch of the oats. Next up, transfer the slow roasted granola or the half baked granola to a bowl. I mean, this is another thing that I do with my oats. I don't know why I don't like to cook um, oats straight up like this. I like to roast them just for a couple of minutes, for like 20 to 30 minutes before I, still cook them. I've added some pumpkin seeds to this. Remember, my granola is relatively warm, so I am stirring that to combine. Next up, I'm adding the wet ingredients. I mean, if you're going to omit the orange syrup, make sure you double the measurement of the honey. Just double the honey measurement. Make sure you scrape every inch of this wet ingredients because you will need it. Stir this to combine. Make sure that you stir it thoroughly because this wet mixture needs to coat the oil of the oats properly. It needs to coat the almonds, it needs to coat everything. It needs to the color of the orange zest. Ugh, smells so yum. Next up, I'm adding my chopped up candied orange. Did you see how I hit my bowl with the spoon? I don't know why we do that. I don't know why I do that. I do that a lot. So I am stirring this to combine completely. Oh my god, look at the colors. It looks so beautiful already. See, I just did that again. Now get your baking pan or your baking tray and transfer this mixture onto your baking pan. Now, I need you to do one more step. Reduce the heat of your oven. Yes, I know that I said to slow roast, but yeah, we need to reduce the heat of the oven because you know what? We've added the wet ingredients. The candied orange, has been cooked down in sugar, and we don't want this to caramelize and burn. So like I said, we are slow roasting this, so we need to slow roast this on low heat. I mean, you have to slow roast it from the beginning, on low heat, but then reduce the heat of your oven further. And don't forget, stir, stir, stir every 5 minutes. Pop it out of the oven and stir. Every 5 minutes, bring it out of the oven and stir. We don't want this to burn at all. See how gorgeous that looks. See? You have to see, no burns, no nothing. The candied orange is crispy. Everything is so crispy. Now I am adding some cranberries and I am stirring with my hands. I mean, I love to touch hot things. I don't know why. Now you're going to let this, to cool at room temperature for a couple of minutes, say 20 minutes. If you have a fan, you can just place your fan, right beside it just to cool it, as fast as possible. Otherwise, just let it, come to room temperature like that. Once it is cool, add your white chocolate chips. You can also add your milk chocolate chips here. But I love, the contrast of the white chocolate with the cranberries, the color of the roasted oats, the almonds, and the pumpkin seeds. It looks just so beautiful. Doesn't it just remind you of Christmas? So yes, that's it. If you ever get to make this recipe, please let me know how you like it or how it turns out. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to share this recipe. Please don't forget to leave a comment, and give me a thumbs up or something. Thank you guys. Bye bye.